Welcome to Underwater CSI International Revealed. I'm your host, Senior Investigator Rich Morin, and with me, as always, is my sidekick and business partner.
Senior Investigator Ed Myron.
Thought you forgot your name there for a minute.
Well,
Thought I was
I
going to
am
have to
getting
jump in and help you
I,
out.
I am getting older, so sometimes I forget those things. It's been a
What's going on,
long
buddy?
it's been a long week and it's only Wednesday. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It's been hot and humid here. Holy mackerel.
yeah. It's been hot
Miserable.
here,
Yeah.
which I don't really mind it. So
I'd rather have the heat than the cold.
hundred
Definitely.
percent. Yep.
All right. What's the show about tonight?
Yeah. So tonight we're going to talk about a recovery that we did up on one of the local lakes during the winter. Um, a couple kids took their mother's
Sisters. Sisters. Yeah.
sisters, right,
Yeah.
sisters SUV out onto the ice, went down the boat launch on one of the local lakes out onto the ice, and where that boat launch is, there's a lot of running water in that area, right? And
Yeah. Because it funnels down and goes into the river.
right,
Yeah.
so they only got out maybe I don't know, probably 200 yards, and went through the ice.
Got out. I mean, nobody got hurt.
Right,
But we got the call thinking it was possibly insurance fraud.
right.
When we heard it was a Jeep Cherokee, we got a call from the insurance company, I believe,
Yeah, well,
or
no,
sister.
it started with yeah, either the mother or the sister, and then we got the call from the DEC, and then remember there was all that confusion of
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
insurance
Yeah, and
company.
DEC is Department of Environmental Conservation.
Right.
You know, these people hold a lot of power, when
Yeah.
it comes to conservation, especially water quality,
Right.
to make sure that things aren't polluted, et cetera.
Right.
And they can levy some big fines, as we're going to talk about.
As we're gonna.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope.
I think they can do up to 10,000 a day, if
Right.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
So there was some confusion. Um, uh, uh, we got when we finally got the okay from, and I think you're right, it was the sister regarding the insurance. We were basically put on hold because we couldn't get a hold of anybody. Right.
yeah, it was on a Saturday is when it happened.
Right.
And the insurance company, we won't mention any names, but it's got like a little lizard for but hey, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, except
Mm.
you can't get an insurance adjuster on the line.
Right.
And they only work Monday through Fridays. So the person that we need to get the claim number from, and we need to make sure that they are insured for this particular situation, because not all vehicles are insured if they go underwater.
Right.
Um, so anyway, it's uh, it's kind of a mess. I mean, we showed up on scene. It's winter time. I forgot what month it was, but it was brutal out.
Right.
It probably was January. I mean, it was Arctic conditions, wind blowing. I mean, freezing outside.
Yeah.
Um, we got there. It was a late morning, I think it was.
No, it was actually early afternoon because
Oh, that we got there.
we were getting concerned about, like you just said, the weather, and that it was going to get dark
Yeah.
before we know it.
Yeah, we don't like doing recoveries during the dark. One, if it's a possible insurance fraud, it's easy to miss a lot of clues,
Right.
when it's pitch black because you're just working off lights at that point. And, the other thing is it can be hazardous. Sometimes you can't see if rigging is coming undone because it's dark out. You're
Right.
not like looking across to the other side, et cetera. So, and it's harder to keep safety with divers, et cetera. So, we prefer not to do it at night. We've done a lot of them, but we prefer not to. But we find out that this is an old Jeep Cherokee, um, kind of beat. This
Yeah.
girl's just kind of limping along. It was her only vehicle. Her brother decided to take it out on a joyride
Right.
with some buddies of his, and down it went.
Right.
Um, so we showed up on scene, you know, truck and trailer loads full of gear, like we always do, got all our equipment, etc. And DEC showed up,
Yep.
officer who we worked with for, many, many times in the past. And that's where things started to go kind of crazy a little bit.
Right.
We contacted the insurance company again, still trying to verify that they have a policy there. And the person on the phone was from Georgia, and they just can't comprehend that your lakes are freezing over up there, and how thick, and
Right.
people are driving vehicles out there. How thick does this ice get? They just can't comprehend that.
Right.
So this lady that I've got on the phone is just overwhelmed. And
Right.
she's like, all I can do is give you a claim number. I just need you to look up and tell me, are they insured for this? I can't do that. I can only give you a claim number. You have to talk to an insurance adjuster or insurance agent in order to do that. So they're not available till Monday. I
Yeah.
said, listen, you got to contact somebody. There's got to be somebody to call in an emergency situation because Department of Environmental Conservation is here and we have to get this vehicle out of the lake.
Right.
Why? You know, I
Right.
mean, they were, why? Why not just leave it there?
Right.
So explaining to them that, gas and oil, et cetera, and then the decay over years, et cetera, it's, possibly pollute the water. This is a drinking water, body of
And
water.
it wasn't that deep.
Yeah.
It wasn't that deep.
Yeah. I
So I
forgot
mean,
what the depth was on that. You remember?
yeah, it
12
was
feet or something?
what's that?
15 feet.
Yeah, it
Remember what
was
the depth was?
between 12 and 15
Yeah.
because again, it was it was during the winter, so some of the lakes are down a little bit lower. To take on the snow melt, so then the lakes rise back up. So it was shallower in that area. So I mean, we had to get it out
Yeah.
for a lot of
So,
reasons.
so we're not doing anything until we find out whether or not this thing is insured.
Right.
So we're on the phone. Give me an estimated time. How long was I on this phone call with the lady from Georgia?
Well, between the office when we first initially called, and then on scene, it was probably over an hour and a half, if not longer.
Yeah. And now the DEC officers are getting a little perturbed
Right.
because nothing's happening.
Right.
And, he's not mad at us. He's mad at the insurance company
Right.
because they're just not handling it. And,
Exactly.
thinking that they're the almighty, et cetera.
Right.
All right. So she finally puts me over to somebody else. All right. And so someone else picks up the phone. Well, this guy is in Texas.
Yeah.
All right. He's even worse than the lady in Georgia,
Yeah.
and
How do
same
you?
thing. All I can do is give you a claim number, blah, blah, blah. And I was on the phone with this guy for a long time
Yep.
and probably over an hour with this guy.
Yeah.
And finally, the DEC officer, he's had enough.
Yeah. He's lost it.
Yeah. He's like, give me the phone.
Yep.
He's like, this is the Department of Environmental Conservation for the state of New York, blah, 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 officer so and so. You either get this rectified right now or I'm going to start levying fines.
Yep.
There's nothing I can do. Nothing I can do. You have to wait till Monday and then call back, et cetera. You got your first $10,000 fine.
Yep.
All right. Well, there's nothing I can do, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, so
Now.
now still nothing is happening.
Right.
All right. And so now the DEC officer says, I've had it with these people. I've had it. This is now considered a hazardous spill.
Right.
All right. That changes everything now.
Everything.
Everything.
Right.
Geico, you know what? You're out of the picture now.
Yep.
All right. You're going to get the bill, but you're out of the picture now. It's no longer in your control, et cetera. You don't want to work with us on this. You don't want to make a call. You got to have a supervisor. Somebody's got to be able to do this.
Right.
All right. All right. Nothing wants to be done. So now it's a hazardous bill. So what do we do now?
Yeah. But now a couple of the guys, the girl's brother and
Oh
one of the
yeah, I
other
forgot about
guys,
that.
puff up and they go, "We're not paying anybody to do this. We can recover this. I got some friends. We can recover this. We're not paying these guys. We're not listening to you guys. We're gonna do this ourselves." Well, I think I stepped between you and him so that there wouldn't be any any type of altercation. And then
I actually forgot about that. I'm glad you brought that up
yeah,
because it wasn't just that. It was, you know, name calling on his part
right.
and it was we're going to get a brand new vehicle out of this.
That's right.
And it's like
Yeah,
I'm trying to explain to him that's not how the insurance works. You're going to get value of what the vehicle was prior to it going down, which is probably $1,100 on
and
that particular vehicle,
yeah,
if that, because this vehicle is beat.
yeah. And now
Yeah,
with the levy of the first fine, he's not getting anything.
yeah, yeah. It's just nuts.
So then, so these guys puffed up, and now the DEC officer steps in and says, "You guys stay out of this. You don't have any jurisdiction, or not jurisdiction. You don't have any rights to this. You're not, you're not calling the shots. These guys are calling the shots. You guys step back, or I'll be calling the sheriff's department."
Yeah,
Oh, I'm not. You guys, and then like you said,
and they
name
have the
calling.
authority to arrest also.
Right,
You know,
right. Yep,
I mean they're in full uniform.
yep.
Sidearm, everything else.
And that's when he turned to us and said, "Go get started."
Get it out of the water.
Yep.
So now it's late. It's late in the afternoon.
Oh yeah, it's
You
it's
know,
it's late in the afternoon, and
now our job is four times as hard
right.
because now we got to set up all the lights around, around the recovery area and,
Yep.
caution tape and everything. And we were a little leery because we have a UTV that we haul a lot of equipment out.
Right.
And, we ended up having to really search for a good path that we could drive along
Right. Right. That
so
was
we
the
don't
other
go
thing.
through.
Yeah, that was the other thing. We couldn't just take a straight line out to the vehicle, because we noticed some of the cracks in the ice. We noticed water on the surface of the ice. So we had to kind of go far to the left of the boat launch, and then come back around to the car. And it took us that much longer because we couldn't make just a straight line shot right
Yeah.
to the vehicle.
Yeah. We had to go, we had to kind of make a little loop all the way around,
Right.
come back around it like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
I mean, th- that in itself just made it that much more difficult, and that much more dangerous, right?
Yeah.
Because
Well, the other thing is once it's designated as a hazardous spill, all right, it gets handled completely different now.
right,
We would still boom it off regardless, to make sure and collect any gas or oil. And the gas is going to dissipate, it's
right,
going to evaporate pretty quick. But the oil, we want to suck it up into our containment booms.
right,
But the problem is because it's now classified as a state of New York hazardous spill, we have to call a company that specializes in that. And we've worked with this company many times before.
many
I
times.
love working with this company.
Yeah,
Love it, love it, love it.
yeah,
Why do I love it, Ed?
because they bill the customer, and we get paid automatically.
Right away. I mean,
Yeah,
basically, Monday morning, I go to their office and I hand them the invoice and they write me a check.
yep,
I don't have to, you know, have a big hassle with the, adjuster. Well, we'll give you 20 cents on the dollar,
right,
that kind of stuff. And they take care of it. They'll file lawsuits against the, against the insurance company. They'll
right,
take them to court. I mean, they'll do all that stuff.
right,
Okay. If they have to. But anyway, so now the DEC is levying some pretty hefty fines. And you know what? Rightfully so.
oh,
I mean, it
100%.
was just such a big runaround. Didn't have to be. We kept saying we gave our information to the insurance company, and they said somebody will call you back Monday morning.
Right.
Right. So in the meantime, we go out there to do the recovery, and it's a mess. I mean,
Oh,
it's an older vehicle. We got gas, we got oil all over the place. So it is really a hazardous spill.
right,
But the team shows up, all right, the hazardous spill company. They show up with their big recovery trucks and stuff, and a vacuum truck, all kinds of stuff like that they have. But again, it's brutal cold. What was
right.
nice is they actually brought us some donuts and some, hot stuff
Hot
to drink,
chocolate and
etc.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, some hot chocolate and stuff. So that was really nice because
Yeah.
we've been there for hours and hours now.
Yeah. And now
And
it's dark.
yeah,
It's
so
dark.
they actually walked out onto the ice with us. We put them into a flotation device in case they fell through, et cetera. Harness, with a line on them, stuff like that. So we brought them out to the site, and they said, "We've worked with you guys enough. We don't have to oversee your operation. We're
Right.
going to go back and sit in the truck where it's
Where it's
warm."
warm.
All right. So we were out there for several hours, quite a long time because
Yep.
once we, bring it up again, the ice isn't safe enough to bring it back up onto the vehicle, up onto the ice. So basically, we have to float it under the ice until we're in shallower water where the tires are starting to hit now. We can
Right.
no longer pull it along. Then we
Right.
have to cut a big channel, all the way to our egress area. We're not bringing it all the way back to the boat launch area.
Nope.
It's just too
Too
far,
far.
and we don't know all the other stuff. And people are using that ramp, so we can't do that. We have to go, and it was relatively close to shore, but there was no access
Right.
points. It's all wooded
Right.
right there. And
And
there is a
there's
road.
and there's snow on the ground.
Yeah, lots of
Yeah.
snow. There
Lots of
was a
snow on the
lot of
ground.
snow on the ground. They were
Right.
making it miserable.
Right.
And we have a plow on our UTV, but we use that to plow off areas in the parking lot to set up our areas and potential evidence and stuff like,
Right.
and set up all our all our gear, the pre-dives, set up, and also post-dive afterwards so that we can pack it all up and stuff, make sure we account for everything, stuff like
Right.
that. But so we bring it to shore, and then we have this massive winch,
Winch.
gasoline powered winch system.
Yep.
I think it's 16,000 pounds of
For
is it 16 or is it 20?
no,
Might be 20,000
I
pounds.
thought it was 20.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a huge winch. So what we do is we chain it to a tree and then we run the cable out and we basically winch it up onto the shore.
Right.
But we're
And
not
if you
done. We got a lot of cleanup to do.
yep.
We got a lot of gear we gotta take care of, et cetera. And we still have to get this vehicle to a road
Right.
so a tow truck can take it away.
And if you remember the all the junk that was in the back of that vehicle, it was just there was so much junk all floating around in there. And we thought we were going to be able to get closer to shore before it hit bottom. But because
Yeah,
of the shallow water,
I forgot about that.
we didn't get we got maybe 2 car lengths before we were hitting bottom. So we had to cut that long channel, if you remember that long
Yeah,
channel to shore. And that took us a long time
yeah.
because it was so shallow.
If nobody's cut ice before,
I'm
it's
sure
a
there's
lot of work.
I'm sure there's a lot of viewers out there
It's a
that have
lot
cut a
of
lot
work,
of ice.
especially on a recovery. If you think ice diving class is bad, as far as the amount of ice you have to cut, you should see about a recovery.
Right,
And then the other thing is, with ice diving class, we always pull the ice up onto the surface so that ropes don't get entangled in it underwater.
right,
But for this, we want to push the ice underneath so that it forms a thicker platform along the sides so
right.
that we can
We can
continue to work as we get closer to shore.
right.
Yeah. And so it's a big, big job.
And when we cut, they're not small slabs that we're cutting.
Yeah.
And we have to now I don't again just like what you just said. I don't know how many people have cut you know blocks of ice. Well, when you cut a sheet of ice, okay, and trying to push that under the surface and underneath the other layer of ice, that is not an easy task. It is not an easy
So let's say
task.
we have a channel, that's yay wide, a little wider than the vehicle itself.
Right,
Well, first we got to cut a strip down the middle, all
right,
right, and then we cut the next strip alongside, and then cut the pieces on because we got to slide half under one side, half under the other side, so we can have our team working both sides,
both sides.
pulling. Plus we got diver in the water,
Divers in water.
so they can make sure that the bags are protected, the recovery equipment that we're set, make sure that there's nothing else underwater that we're going to be hitting.
Right,
So and when you're underwater like that, it's more like like
Yeah,
that because you've been there, you've been there for hours.
right, right.
But
And now, so now going back to your point, we have this chained the winch chained off, and now we're running the cable all the way out to the vehicle, and now we're winching this thing out, and we're like, wow, this it's a lot shallower than we thought,
yeah,
and pulling that thing through the mud, and those guys are still back there with the DEC officer. We're not, rah," and they're complaining and everything, and now it's what 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, yeah, it's late. Um, because also when we were winching it, wasn't this the one where mud kept, because of the contour, mud just
Mo-
kept right up against the bumper,
Yep, yep,
and or what they had for a bumper,
yeah,
and it's we're trying to pull it up through all that muck
right, right,
and yeah,
yeah, and
yeah, it was a
and
mess.
that section of the lake with a lot of growth in there too, right in the water.
Yeah.
So we were in the if you remember, I remember when we pulled it out, all the mud.
The other thing too is we got to keep it under containment, as
Right,
far as in booms. So, I mean, all
right.
that's got to be taken care of also,
Well, in
because any gas or oil is going to float to the surface and we have to contain all this. Then that's all got to be collected. It's got to be put in, bags. And then
bags,
actually the guys took it from us,
right.
the hazardous fill team,
Yeah,
took all the
and
containment
and
booms.
and it's dark, it's pitch dark.
Yeah.
We got to keep moving the lights, right?
Yep.
Because everything has to move as we go. So we're
Now, where we
move
brought it out into the woods, there was a road further in
right,
that ran parallel with the shoreline.
right.
So we did have a road there, but it was quite a ways that we had to bring that vehicle, and bring it through the woods. We can't cut any trees down.
Right.
Yep. So we can't do that. And then we got to talk about the recovery too, where we had to, we were looking at getting it over the railroad tracks. And then it turned into, oh no, 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 the railroad company's got to bring a flat car with a crane on it and blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
It's like, can't we just winch it over? No, we
No.
can't do that. But we'll talk about that another time. So anyway, we, plus, again, we got all that cleanup on the
Right,
ice. We got all
right.
the equipment.
All our
We
gear.
got our ropes. We got our beaners, our carabiners. We got our ice screws.
Right,
you know, plus we got the generator out there. We've got just all kinds of stuff.
right,
So all that's got to be cleaned up. But we got to leave the lights out there
right,
because we still have to have final inspection, and then we have to stake it all off and then put caution tape all the way around just in
right.
case somebody's ripping down, on a snowmobile
With
or
a
something
snowmobile, right?
that
Or a
they don't
four
go for a
wheeler.
swim. Yeah.
Right, right,
At that point. So all that's got to be done. And then DEC and the hazardous waste spill team, they have to come out, they have to inspect it,
right,
and see whether or not anything else has to be done.
right. They check
Um,
water quality. The clean company checks the water quality,
yep.
looks around the site. Yep,
Yeah. They take samples and, check
exactly.
all that.
Yeah,
Yep. So it's a lot of work.
yeah. Then, like you said, here we are maneuvering this car between the trees, and then finally we were able to. And how many
So
tow?
finally, what happened? You got on one end, I got on the other. We just picked the thing up and carried it out. I noticed you got on the back, the light end.
Yeah, right. But I mean, and how many tow trucks did we try to get? Because now it was so early in the morning. Now
Yeah.
it's close to 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30 in the morning,
Yep.
and we're calling for local tow trucks, and they're like, and it's cold out. It's
Right.
freezing outside.
Yeah. They're like, hey, we can come out, in the morning.
Yeah,
Well, tomorrow's Sunday, so I mean, well, probably not Sunday, but
yeah, yeah.
we can come out on Monday and get it.
Well, and I think
We
you
had to
said that
find somebody because it's a long ride for us.
right,
We're not coming back here just to watch it be put on a on a tow
right,
truck,
right.
flatbed.
And I think you said to one guy, he said, "Oh, I'll come out in the morning," and you said, "Well, it is morning."
Yeah. And technically, it is morning because it's probably going on close to 2 o'clock now.
Oh yeah, it was after two
Yeah.
by the time we got it to the road access where we could get the tow truck. to where he could gain access to pull it up on the flatbed.
Yeah. But of course, the sister and her brother and his buddies and stuff, they're all gone. You
Oh
know,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, they're gone.
The only ones that are there is our team, DEC,
Yep.
and the clean company.
Yeah. So DEC still wants to talk to the insurance company.
Right.
Sunday, nope,
Nope.
another fine. Monday, nope, nobody calls us. We're trying to call, get put on hold. Nobody answers the phone.
Right.
Another fine.
Yep.
Tuesday, nobody calls us. We call them, get put on hold. Nobody answers the phone. Somebody will call you back. All right. We're trying to explain to them the whole time. Listen, you're levying these massive fines.
Yeah.
Every day somebody's got to get back to us. Oh yeah, yeah. They didn't care. It's
Nope.
not their money. All right. Finally, Wednesday, I get a call back from an insurance adjuster.
Yep.
All right. And it's like, so what's going on? Tell me what's going on. Geez, you guys had something going on Saturday. I said, yeah, and we needed to talk to somebody on Saturday to make sure these people are insured. I mean, getting a claim number, you can call anybody can give you, get a claim number for
Claim them.
anything.
Yeah.
We just wanted to make sure that their policy was indeed, through Geico and it was active.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Invalid.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right here, I got it right here. Yeah, yeah, they're insured. Yeah. All right, well, good because it's going to cost you a little bit of money now.
Yeah. Exactly.
And and he's like, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, we tried explaining it to the first person we
Several.
talked to. We tried explaining it to the lady in Georgia, the guy in Texas. Everybody thought it was a big, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But now it was classified as a hazardous spill because nobody would call back. Everybody kept messing around with the Department of Environmental Conservation officer. You don't realize how much power these guys have.
Right.
They're in charge of the conservation. This is drinking water, right? And nobody's contacting us back. So the more delay, the more cleanup there is because we
And
got gas and oil that's leaking. So, well, what do you think the bill's going to be? I said, I got the bill right here. I can tell you exactly what it's going to be, you know? And so I
yeah.
told him, and what did it come out to? Do you remember?
Well, would I don't remember the numbers, but it was extremely high with the
I want to
levy of the
say,
fines and then the clean companies their assessment from it
yeah,
and then
and let me tell you, their bill was more than ours.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, even though they're sitting in their trucks, they're still standing by just in case.
Right.
They got two guys on a weekend,
Right.
Saturday into Sunday,
Correct.
right? So, um, I want to say, I don't remember exactly, but I want to say it was probably upward of 70 plus $1,000.
Yeah, I remember it was over 60.
Yeah, because I think they had 45 or $50,000 in fines.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere around 40 because I know their bill was pretty hefty and I know ours was because of the danger involved because of the night it being a night recovery
Yeah,
and that
weekend,
type of thing.
night,
Right.
winter,
Yeah.
hazardous spill, blah, 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 blah.
No big
Access to
deal.
the road. I mean, it adds up, especially
Yeah.
when you got a team. It's not just the two of us. We got a team out there.
Right. You got a whole team. Right.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
you're out there until what time did we get back to the office? It was probably well, didn't we
Just in
stop at
time
the
to unload and go out and recover some snowmobiles.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I think that
Yeah.
was the next morning,
Yeah.
right?
I think so.
Up at the Winter Carnival.
Yeah.
Was that where the three or four went down?
Yeah. I don't remember if it was the next day or not, but
Okay.
I know one of the days we
Yeah,
had something like that. We just got back.
right.
We're all
Oh,
beat. We're all tired.
no, you know what that was? That was the fishing tournament up on the lake, and we had recovered. Remember the Jeep Cherokee that went in, and we recovered that, and then we did that four wheeler, and then we had just got back, um, and we got the call for a recovery first thing in the morning on the
Yeah.
same lake. Yeah,
Yep. But anyway, so it was long day, big bill. Um,
Could it?
he just and the guy was having a fit. What? Oh, we're not paying that. And it's like, well, you're gonna have to fight it out in court
Yeah,
because the hazardous spill company is gonna, if you dispute it, they're gonna take it to court. They're
yeah.
not lowering their bill.
No,
Period. I'm
and they
telling you that
work
right now.
right, and they work for New York State.
Right.
So
Right. They're contracted out for New York State. Good
right,
luck fighting that.
yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not
and
gonna happen.
you pissed off the wrong people.
Right. And I tried for hours to explain that to your people.
Exactly.
But well, how come they didn't? Well, I don't know why they didn't, but they didn't. And it wasn't one person; it was multiple people from your company.
Right, and it was multiple hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if you're the adjuster that's handling this now, good luck. And I'm sure you're going to get reprimanded at some point.
yeah. And why didn't you call back on Monday
Yeah,
when
on
we
Monday.
called you?
And
Or
remember, I was screaming at the guy.
yeah,
I was like, "It's Wednesday. You're calling me back Wednesday afternoon.
yeah.
Now you're
So
all concerned. Oh, what's going on?"
yeah, and
Oh,
you didn't call back on Tuesday.
yeah.
Oh,
Or
so yeah,
Wednesday morning.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, you
So
got you got another fine levy today.
yeah,
But
and
anyway,
obviously you're not so concerned.
hey, one of the shows in the very near future, maybe even the next one, I want to talk about that one we did fairly recently. That uh, matriarch family. She ended up. It was a drowning situation down on an island. So I want to talk about some more of the international stuff
Okay.
down on the island. And when we got called to go and investigate and recover her body, lots of things were wrong
Right.
on that. And so I want to talk about that and the investigative part of it and
Okay.
what we discovered and then what it led to,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So we need to talk about that
Yeah.
because we've been talking a lot about recoveries lately, but
Right.
we'll talk about an actual crime scene.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
Sounds
all
good.
right.
All right.
Well, thank you much, everybody, for listening. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and share. Share it to as many people as you can. We really appreciate it, and it helps us out a lot. Anyway, this is Underwater CSI Revealed, and I'm Senior Investigator Rich Morin, and with me is,
Senior Investigator Ed Myron.
and once again, thanks for watching.
All right. Thank you.